And hello. How are y'all doing here on this Wednesday evening? Back from Vegas. It was a blast. UFC Noche UFC. I couldn't have had a better time, to be honest. I would like to go back and like watch it on the TV just so I could hear what the crowd sounded like on the TV, because like in person, dude, everything was a blast. Everything was loud. Like the Mexicans came out to represent this past Saturday, and I'm excited to catch up with D Rose and the chat. So with that being said, welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen, and we appreciate every single one of you for stopping by today to hang out with us here on this Wednesday night. But with that being said, D Rose, how you been this past week, man?
Things been great over here. Great weekend of fights. As far as betting wise, it wasn't too great. We're going to get this ladder eventually. We're going to get it right, man. We're just having one slip up and keep screwing us, but we're going to get this thing right. But ended up having a good bounce back with some NFL picks as I sent you over the weekend. I kind of ended up saving my butt because I would have lost it if it wasn't for that. So it ended up being good. But I wanted to ask you, because I know you going to the event over this past weekend. I know you said it was super loud. Like, dude, coming off the TV, dude, it was every bit of loud, if not probably more loud on the TV. Like every single time, like one of the Mexican fighters, or someone of Hispanic descent, they landed a punch or something, and it's just raw. Like, I mean, you could just hear it through the TV. Like, it almost kind of reminded me of the France crowd with Cyril Gane. Like, just every fighter from like Paris and France and from that region, everybody just popped for everything they did. That's exactly what that card reminded me of this past weekend. It was super loud, man.
Yeah, man. Well, that's good, because in the arena, dude, I feel like one in every five people had a Mexican flag, dude. Like, I don't know if like many of y'all saw the vlog, but it was just like like Mexican flags were everywhere, dude. And it was just a fun experience overall. And for sure, dude, I was probably one of the people yelling when one of the shots landed if I had a bet on that fighter. But I mostly had bets for Mexican fighters this past weekend, so I can't be too upset. Let me shout out the chat real quick. I appreciate y'all for stopping here. What's going on, Lush? Another Golden Wednesdays with the boys. We appreciate you, Lush, always being
Yes,
in
sir.
here, brother.
The man.
We got Austin in here. What's up? How you doing, Austin? And we got Derek Goofrey in here. Indeed, you guys just in here early, and we do appreciate that. Lush, we are live, and we got A Jackson. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, A Jackson?
And then sick rip, man. I'm not sure.
The fake.
Oh yeah, the one at the beginning. At this point, y'all, I should let y'all know that's a recording now. I just play it because I couldn't do it like that every time.
No, you can't let them. No.
I have changed the vapes. I use these little small ones now.
Oh man, a true magician never reveals his tricks, man. Oh man, that's gonna be an eye opener for the crowd now. Man, yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's the cat out the bag, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Did you see the jersey going for 600 plus on eBay? That makes sense, because I was actually talking to someone in my Instagram. Those green shirts, Dorian, like those green. It's still real to me, damn it. Yeah. So the green jerseys, Dorian, that like everyone had on. So after the press conference and the weigh-ins, my girlfriend wanted to stand in this long ass line to get one of those shirts, and I was like, man, I'm not trying to stand in this line. So I convinced her we'll get one at the fights, and she was like, what if they're sold out? I'm like, I'm sure that if they're not sold out now, they're not going to be sold out at the fights. And we ended up going back there yesterday, not yesterday, back there like the next day, for the Justin Gaethje meet and greet right before the fights, and like the line was super short there. Like we walked up up there, and the jerseys sold out. They were, I think, either $100 or $120, and so right now people are reselling them on eBay for $600+, dude. Crazy.
Oh man, that's brutal, dude. Like just
They
the
were cool though.
assholery in you though, just to buy them for $120 or whatever, and turn around and sell them for 600. Like you're a certified dickhead.
Yeah, it's a really good card this weekend, to be honest, and I'm excited to get into it. So, you can catch the Contender Series last night. There was a true 10-8 round. Yeah. If you doesn't know which one was, yeah. Speaking of that, I bet about $20 on Contender Series last night. I think I had like 4 or 5 different parlays, and I cashed one out that would have hit. So I felt like a dumbass for that, but I ended up hitting one that ended up making me break even, so I can't be too upset. I usually bet about $20 on the Contender Series, just hope for the best. Just a few like 4 or 5 leg parlays, just hoping one hits.
No, that's too icky for me. Yeah, I got to say, wait, I'm watching Contender Series just for the pure entertainment of it. I cannot put any type of money behind that whatsoever.
Yeah. With that being said, we're going to talk about this past weekend's UFC, Noche UFC Grasso versus Shevchenko 2. The headlines from that, if you will. We got some fight news and announcements that I need to pull up because I haven't even done that yet. And then lastly, we'll give you our picks and predictions and maybe some bets for this upcoming weekend's UFC Fight Night Fiziev versus Gamrot. So with that being said, if you guys haven't already, do us a favor and hit a thumbs up button on this video. There, I said it at the beginning of the video, or somewhat near the beginning of the video this week. Yeah, man. So with that being said, I do have to let you guys know I was at in Vegas this past weekend. I'm sure you guys know that by now. Want to shout out all the fighters that I was able to grab a picture with. And D-Rose, if you have any questions, I'll give you a little walkthrough on what happened. So when I pulled up to my hotel in Vegas this past weekend, I was checking in and I was able to get a picture. They were standing there, just kind of standing there, Diego Lopes and Alessandro Costa. So that was pretty cool. And also, as you can see, this sign there on the right of the screen says we are experiencing this shit. Pretty much Vegas got hacked this past week. So you couldn't pay out anywhere. So a person like had to come pay you. So that was pretty stupid, but hey, I wasn't really trying to play slots that much anyway. And then after that, I was able to get a picture with Brandon Moreno. So that's pretty cool. And then I was able to get a picture with Justin Gaethje the next day, and it was super hot. I'm pretty sure I'm sunburned right there.
Dude, your face is like baked.
Yeah, dude. But I didn't want a sunburn mark of my glasses, so that's why I did take my glasses off. And then probably my favorite person that I met was Tatiana Suarez, dude. She was really, really nice, dude. And then at the fights the next day, I was able to meet Daniel Zellhuber. I actually ran up in between the 4th and the 5th round. And he just happened to be up there in the little section that I was sitting at. So I was like, hey, man, that was a great fight. I just now watched you check the guy out. I was like, oh, I wish you would have done it in the 3rd. Nah, I didn't say that. But then, yeah, after the fights, dude, I didn't know I was actually staying at the Fighter Hotel. So that's pretty cool. So after the fights, I was just down there drinking, and I was able to get a picture with the Lionheart. I know you're a fan of that one, Anthony Smith.
Hell yeah.
And dude, I was actually able to get a autograph of him on 2 cards, so I'm pretty stoked for that. And then I was able to meet Cheetah Vera, also able to get 2 autographs of him. Dude, Cheetah was lit, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, he can barely even open his eyes. Like, dude, his eyelids are doing so much work right now just to stay open. It's unreal.
Yeah, dude. But I had a great weekend, dude. I have no complaints at all for the most part. But
dude,
with that being said,
that's dope.
Yeah. And then let's see. Great card, but I missed damn near all of it. Big college games this weekend. Lush, you got to go back. Oh no! This upcoming weekend.
This coming up weekend. Yeah, it's Ohio State Notre Dame. I know he's a Notre Dame fan, so yeah,
okay.
yeah. Amber, she's a Ohio State fan, so yeah, they're pretty psyched for the game this weekend themselves.
Got you. And there, Groovy, dropping the super sticker, 199. I truly appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for spending
Hell
your
yeah.
hard-earned dollars over here. Listen to us two dorks talk about some fights. So with that being said, D-Rose, thoughts on the main event this past weekend? Who did you think won? And thoughts on the 10-8 and everything like that?
I will say I did end up I might have fallen asleep on fight night. So I ended up watching it the next day, knowing that, Grasso had won. So, a little bit of confirmation bias. Or yes, the draw. I felt like Grasso won. Okay. I guess retaining the title. But okay. But yeah, I did feel like Grasso had won. Man, I thought she had won 2, 4, 5. In my opinion, I thought the swing round was the fourth round. The fourth round, it's dicey because one of the things that they really talk about the most in terms of judging a round is damage, and in terms of inflicting damage, Alexa Grasso's face was a little bit more bruised up and cut at the end of that round than Valentina's was, but. I did think eventually, when Grasso, she landed the knees, when she had her like in that little headlock clinch and she was kind of landing the knees, those are perfectly legal because you have to have two hands down in Vegas. The commentators.
The rule is, like it has to be weight bearing. So if you're trying to touch the ground, like your fingertips, that's not a grounded opponent,
right? Like it doesn't count.
You'd have to have her like palm down,
right?
Yeah. So
right. So I guess actually like full force.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. But yeah. So those knees landed. She got the big takedown there in the fourth. So I did think Alexa Grasso did do enough there in the fourth to sneak that round out. That fifth round, yeah, for it to be the 10-8, that's absolutely brutal. It was a close round. Honestly, Valentina, she just that's a couple fights in a row now where she's made mistakes, and that's the second one in a row where she's made a mistake that Alexa Grasso was able to capitalize on. And that headlock hip toss that she does, she got constantly caught against that with that when she kept trying to do it against Tyler Santos. Tyler Santos kept getting her back with it. And then in the Grasso fight, this past weekend, they ended up letting Grasso get her back there in the fifth round. Grasso was able to basically steal that round to steal the fight, because I did think it was 2-2 going into the fifth. Yeah, and I thought that Grasso did do enough in the fifth there to steal the round. It was not a 10-8 by any means. That was an absolutely brutal scorecard to rule that a 10-8.
Yeah. Like the judges scored every judge scored the fifth round for Grasso, but one judge just happened to score a 10-8, which made it a draw. And 2 of the 3 judges scored round 4, like for Valentina. So I guess, what can you do really? But the same judge that scored round 4, like for Valentina, also gave round 5 Grasso 10-8 too. So what can you do? I just think that judge was like, oh shit, I made a mistake. Let me try to correct it in the next round or something like that. I'm glad Grasso retained the championship, but I already heard Dana White say they have to do the trilogy right away now, and he thinks Manon Fiorot versus Aaron Blanchfield makes sense for the next fight at 125, and I can't disagree. I think those are all perfect fights, and maybe we'll see Aaron Blanchfield get exposed. But
you're ready for it.
Yeah. Lush saying, so badass. Can't wait to go to my first event. My girlfriend and I are going to the next UFC Noche card. She is a hard knee surgery, so next year. Oh, hell yeah, brother. He said that he will be getting this event every single year. So hopefully Dana White can do that, because I had a blast. I would for sure go to that one. Again, I had bets on both, so I feel like completely unbiased. I thought Shevchenko won. She clearly made mistakes, but honestly, Grasso did too. To submission hurting, in my opinion. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people say both ways. I've seen people say fucking Valentina won. I've seen a lot of people say Grasso won. So I think in the end, dude, maybe a draw is fair, because a lot of people seemed to be split for the most part. But I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this, man. Co-main event though, was Kevin Holland, Jack Della, dude. I personally thought Kevin Holland won, but maybe me being a lot of drinks in at that point, and the crowd cheering when Kevin Holland obviously landed his strikes, because the crowd was obviously pro Kevin Holland, dude. Yeah, I just thought Kevin Holland won, but I guess it was a close fight. Which way, or how did you score that? If you did score it, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I thought Jack won the fight. I thought Jack won rounds 1 and 3. I thought Kevin, the big thing with Kevin Holland is that he always ends up kind of having moments where he kind of takes his foot off the gas a little bit, and maybe if he's even rolling with the punches, they're still kind of landing, and even if he's not kind of firing back as much. I think that's what kind of, favors in the judge's mind, because to me, there were too many moments when Kevin Holland was landing. But if you go back on the strike count, dude, he threw like 350 something and he landed like 127. So I know a lot of it was just like stuff that he was kind of throwing out, kind of feints and stuff, just to try to get reactions from. Yeah, just kind of like wild stuff, just kind of getting reactions out of Jack. But he was missing a lot, and I thought there were times where he was kind of rolling back, and when he was, Jack would kind of just fire combos off, kind of ripped him to the body a couple times, and was able to back him up against the fence and land combos. And I thought Jack won rounds 1 and 3. I thought Kevin Holland won round 2. It was a close fight, but I did think Jack ended up winning the fight though.
Yeah, fair enough. And I actually agree with Lush here. I was personally disappointed in the Holland versus JDM fight. I expected way more. Yeah, in the arena, it just kind of looked like maybe like a sparring match, kind of like I didn't see like either one of them like going for the kill, but at the same time, like Kevin Holland's so long, so and then at the same time, he like anytime Jack got close, he would like clinch him in and just like throw elbows and like knees. So I mean, it was a tough fight for both parties involved, I guess, because like Jack's not really that experienced. Kevin Holland's got a ton of experience, so I mean, like for Jack to get the dub, only shows more improvement, and he should be what, ranked 13, 12 now in the welterweight division, something like that.
Yeah, something like, I think he was 14. Kevin Holland was what, 13, and they might have been 13, 12, somewhere within that range. So I imagine him being ranked, maybe 11 or so, coming off that win, and hopefully moving up with his matchmaking in the division.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Any other fights on that? Oh, we're not going to run away from this, y'all. I'm not going to do this. We did last week try to begin our ladder parlay again. And this was our ladder parlay. And unfortunately, y'all, that Padilla money line there, I personally thought Padilla won that fight, but it was unanimous for Kyle Nelson, D-Rose. What happened, man? What happened?
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed. I thought that Padilla won. I thought Kyle Nelson cleanly won round 2. I thought he cleanly won round 2, but I thought there in the third round, I thought Padilla kind of walked him down and was landing good shots. I thought Kyle Nelson, he was landing some good punches, but I think what ended up hurting Padilla the most was there were some punches where Padilla would roll and he would turn his face the same way the punch was kind of coming. So even if it wasn't landing, kind of clean, his reaction to him turning his head almost made it seem like it was more impact than what it really was. And I think that really ended up kind of swaying the judge's opinion with some of the shots that were landing in the third round. But I thought Padilla had won, but man, I mean, had a little bit of confirmation bias of that as well. So I can't say too much.
Yeah, man, that was a rough one. So our ladder this week did not hit again. So we've tried to start it 2 weeks in a row now. And, the fourth leg on each of them, Padilla and then Izzy last week is just kind of makes me sick to my stomach. So moving forward, we're not going to do one this week, or at least not really. Maybe we'll have a little halfway one. I will let y'all know what my plays are for like this week, because I let y'all know what they were last week with Tracy Cortez Lupe Godinez, and what was the last one?
Was it Roman Kopylov?
Yeah, Roman Kopylov. That was my 3-leg last week. That did hit, so I put 20 to win 50. So this week I'm going to continue, put that 50 to win 100. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I will let y'all know what that is when we get near the end of the show. But oh yeah, luscious Raul Rosas Jr. Yeah, he actually cashed me my $150 winning bet this weekend. I had a 7-leg that did cash it. So in the vlog when he punched him, I put cha-ching up with the
same that with the best slip
with the parlay cash, and so I can't be too upset at that. Raul Rosas Jr. looked good. I mean, but he was going against the Terror Bear, right?
Dude, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was, you can't say it was Terrence Mitchell, but at the same time, dude, I mean, that looked night and day compared to what his striking was in the Christian Rodriguez fight, and even was it Jay
Perrin?
Yeah, Jay Perrin. Yeah, that the fight against Jay Perrin, even in that fight too. Yeah, or even in the Contender Series fight, like his striking just looked much cleaner, and he was coming in there with bad intentions. Like he was coming in there to hurt Terror Bear, and that's exactly what he did. Dude, he was throwing them heavy hooks. I was like actually surprised to see him come out like explosive as he was, because coming off the loss, I figured he would have came in a little bit more measured. Trying to make sure he didn't waste his gas tank wrestling and stuff like that, making sure that, he kind of stayed composed. But nah, he said, nah, bleep this. I've lost my last fight, and he was pissed off about it. And poor Terror Bear was on the front end of him coming off that loss, man. That was a good bounce back.
Hell yeah, dude. And right here, Alexa, this guy messaged me on Instagram about the jersey while I was there, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't able to get one either, man. And then 600 plus on eBay. I feel you. They are pretty cool though. Yeah, I mean, I just got the UFC Noche shirt, but I mean, that's still like fucking $50. Like that's already too expensive, dude. This shirt is not worth $50. It's just I mean, it has like the thing like on the back, like the poster, but I mean, I don't know if it's worth it.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Lupe Godinez, did what we expected Lupe to do, man, right? Like, I was so happy for Lupe when she got done. I know, like, you messaged me and said you're now Lupe Godinez's #1 fan, because in the vlog, you just hear me, let's go, Lupe. Let's go, Lupe. Because, dude, I had Lupe round 1-2 sub in that giant parlay at the end. They ended up not cashing, dude. But I knew the path to victory was there if she could just get it done. So I had bet like Lupe round 1, round 2 sub, and she got close round 1, but round 2 she came out, threw down Elise Reed with some I guess power, dude, and just got it done from there. What's your thoughts on Lupe getting it done? And as you'll see, I do not have a belt back here anymore. So we'll have to get rid of we'll have to let you know that you are and still this week. But what's your thoughts on Lupe while I figure out what our different picks were?
Man, I thought the thing that really ended up surprising me the most was Lupe was hurting Elise Reed with the hands. She was whipping that left hook early and ended up clipping Elise Reed. When she put her on her butt, I was like, oh yeah, Lupe, this is her fight now, because getting her on the ground. Obviously, we know Elise Reed is susceptible to getting submitted often, and Elise Reed, where she's supposed to be the most competent on the feet, she's getting hurt on the feet too. Yeah, this is it's right near the end, and yeah, Lupe, she wasted no time, as you said, big slam and to get the sub. That was a great performance, and Lupe was known to kind of win one, lose one, or kind of win two, lose one in the UFC. But that was, I say at this point, that was definitely the best performance of her career in the UFC.
Hell yeah, dude! Like, she made it look easy for the most part. And just to let you know, I am not the pick champ this weekend, because our 3 different picks this past week was Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena, which I did pick Kevin Holland, and Dorian did pick Jack Della, so he gets that one. Our second different pick was the one that got canceled.
It was
the Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Da Silva, which I wasn't confident in him at all. I just knew that the fight was probably going to go under a round and a half, and then the fight ends up getting stopped by Chris Tione.
Well, I will say that fight, when Daniel Lacerda went for the takedown and was landing some ground and pound, I was a little worried. Because Daniel Lacerda was actually looking good there for a little bit.
Dude, and he seemed a little more calm. Like he wasn't like exploding. Like I was recording early, and then about 2 minutes in, I'm like, I don't know why I'm recording this, because he's actually being a smart fighter this week.
Yeah, no, that's why I ended up messaging you about like your bet. That bet ended up getting voided because I was like, dude, he was fighting composed. Like he could have drugged that out. And honestly, I think if that fight could have kept going, he could have potentially done some stuff, man. He was looking good early.
Yeah, man. But that one ended up being a draw, and our third one was cancellation, and our third one was Jazz Devicius versus Tracy Cortez, where I did have Tracy Cortez, and D Rose did pick Jazz Devicius, and I got that one right. So that means, just like the main event this past weekend, we end in a draw, and D Rose keeps the belt. So not the broken belt at this point.
I need duct tape like Sean Strickland. Hey guys, I broke my belt.
Crazy. Let's see. I have to wait next year. Yeah. Okay. Lush already had us here. I just didn't read the comments. Loopy beat Silent Six in here. Silent Six is like first comment of the day. Loopy beat the lithium out of Elise Type C charger cable required. Oh goodness gracious, Lush, you are an animal. Luffy destroyed Buster Scruggs. All right. Anything else on the Noche card that you would like to talk about, D Rose, or you want to jump into the fight news and announcements, things of such like that? I don't think there's many this week, to be honest.
Yeah, let's get into the news and stuff.
All right. With that being said, since last week, let me find it. Dude, there's been a lot since last week, no?
I thought you were just saying there weren't too many. So, hey.
Well, I guess I just saw like the Noche. So I guess before the podcast last week until now.
I will say, while you're pulling it up, I see Jesus' comment there about Kopylov. I will say real quick, because I did message you during that fight, and I said, dude, Kopylov, dude, he is so sharp.
Dude,
I mean, he did what we expected him to do, though.
Round 2 Kopylov knockout, like, for me, has cashed his past 3 fights now, dude. I bet round 2, round 3 Kopylov KO, dude. And he gets it. Like, that first round, he just finds his range. And he most of the time ends up hurting dudes at the end of the first round. And then that second round, I'm like, hell yeah, here we go, brother. And what was cool about it is, like, there was like 2 or 3 dudes right in front of me, like they were like sitting there, and like they were also like all super cool. Like they also had bets for Kopylov. So we're like, hell yeah, we're like high fiving. It's just a random ass dude, but hey, everyone loves it. Dude's a legit killer. Indeed, he is.
Yeah, he's a sniper, man. That's what all this, like, every strike he was landing, his uppercuts were landing sharp. I even told you I thought Josh Frim looked kind of big compared to Kopylov when they were standing in there, but no, it was just Kopylov got his range, just landed his head kicks, those uppercuts, and he's just an absolute savage with body shots, man. Yeah.
Speaking of Josh Frim, by the way, I think I told y'all I was in like the Fighter Hotel, or like that was my hotel. But dude, Josh Frim was probably like the tallest dude, the tallest UFC fighter I've ever seen. Dude was like a solid 6, 8 inches taller than me, and like dude, he was way taller than Anthony Smith was. That's crazy.
Dude, that's nuts that he makes 170, and he took that fight on pretty short notice too. So for him to make that weight on short notice as big as he is, I mean, I know a lot of his height, but damn, I mean, that's still a lot of weight that you're carrying with that height, you know. And for him to get down to 170, that's it's crazy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And Austin wants some Roman Kopylov cards. I personally don't think he has any right now. So with that being said, let's jump into our fight news and announcements, things of that such. D-Rose, I'm not sure if we did this, but this came out last Wednesday. T-Rex, Terrence McKinney taking on Chris Duncan. What's your thoughts on that October 14th card?
That's an interesting fight. I don't remember going over it last week, but yeah, that's an interesting fight. We know how T-Rex fights. You know, he's super explosive, coming out early, but you know, in his last yeah, well, and I was going to say that you know, in his last fight, you know, T-Rex, he looked a little bit more composed. But Chris Duncan, as you said, super tough. But I mean, we seen Charlie Campbell fight this past weekend, you know, have a big knockout. I know it was against Alex Reyes, but yeah, Charlie Campbell did hurt Chris Duncan a couple times in that Contender Series fight as well. And we know T-Rex can crack, so that should be a pretty fun fight.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for that one, man. So up next, we've got Diego Lopes signing a new contract and then fighting Pat Sabatini after getting with a picture with yours truly this past weekend. Fights November 11th, UFC 295 in New York. Thoughts on that?
Man, that's pretty dope that he celebrated his new UFC contract by taking a picture with you, dude. That's
Hell
pretty.
yeah,
That's pretty dope that he was able to bring in the moment, and you was able to verify the news that he was fighting Pat Sabatini as well. So you know, kind of doing some insider scoop there, getting the information. But that's a good fight. You know, Diego Lopes, he's came in and kind of, you know, gotten a lot of buzz since the Mavzar fight, and you know, in his last performance, was it Gavin Tucker that he beat? Yeah, he beat him pretty easily. And yeah, that's a good fight,
at
man.
that fight in Nashville too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Did you tell him that?
Yeah, I mean, he don't really speak that much English, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was Nancy doing some translating?
Nah, she just took the picture for me.
Okay. Oh man, not even cool. She had done some translating.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I greatly, dude, I appreciate it either way. I had a good time. What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, brother? We got Kopylov's rookie card. Better be a close up of that nose. I got Skrillex beating Tom Hanks in this one. Yeah, probably. But Pat Sabatini has really good wrestling, and for the most part, wrestling beats jiu-jitsu all the time.
He's little though.
Yeah, dude. And did you see Diego Lopes fights at 145, dude? And look, dude, he's bigger than me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's massive.
Like,
Pat Sabatini, I know he's a good wrestler, but he's not big.
Like fucking Justin Gaethje. I'm taller than Justin Gaethje is. And then me and Lionheart, like, I feel like he's maybe like 2 inches taller than me. And dude, Diego Lopes fights at 145, and he's probably maybe an inch taller than me, dude. So I don't know, dude. I probably got Diego Lopes winning that fight, and I have to cheer for it now because you know, I took a picture with him, right?
Yeah, he celebrated his contract with you, so you got to now. You're stuck with him for life.
Diego Lopes around one sub. It could for sure happen, and then off to the manager. All right. So up next, we've got Vince from Hell Pichel taking on Ismail Bonfim. Wow, they're really giving Ismail Bonfim some easy fights to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they are trying to, you know, I guess they thought the Saint Denis fight was going to be an easy fight for him, and Saint Denis made slight work of him, so trying to get him a bounce back win here. And he is a fun fighter, so I will give him that. He does kind of, you know, bring the action.
I wish he would probably go down to 145 though.
just about to say that, man. Yeah, he's super small for lightweight, man. He's just I think in terms of long-term success, yeah, if he could find a way to make 145, I just feel like he'd be a lot more successful in the UFC.
Yeah, man. So up next, we've got Saeed Nurmagomedov going to be taking on Muin Gafurov, UFC 294. That's the Abu Dhabi card. Care about that?
I like Saeed, so that's a pretty cool fight. But yeah, I'm not familiar with the guy he's fighting, so yeah,
I
not
think
super
he's only
interested.
fought once on like late notice. He like broke his hand, but kept fighting the whole fight with one hand. Like super explosive, super tough. I forgot who he fought last though.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar.
We got Lucy Pudilova taking on Aileen Perez, dude. Care about that one?
No.
Okay. Don't know who those guys are. Eduardo Muda will now face Mazerat Ruiz on the Sao Paulo card. Do you care about that?
Trying to hold back my yawn over here.
All right. Don't know who that is. Veronica Hardy.
Go back in the comments.
Who?
Bro, it's like, who are these
exactly
fighters? Like, that's
dude.
Yeah, like
Tainara Lisboa versus Ravina Oliveira on UFC Vegas 81, October 14th. I mean, that's probably gonna be the first fight of the night.
Yeah, that's I seen the Snoop Dogg gif and I had to or gif and I had to start I had to go back and see that one more time.
All right, we got Veronica Hardy returning against Jamie Lynn Horth. You care about that?
Yeah, Veronica Hardy, she looked good in her last fight against Juliana Miller. She
big dog too.
You know, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, I know you had called that in terms of her getting that big win, and yeah, she looked very improved. Striking looked good. Takedown defense looked good. So yeah, I'm curious to see what she can do.
All right. Up next, we've got this is a good one, dude. Javid Basharat taking on Victor Henry, dude. Victor Henry had the performance of a lifetime against Hani Barcelos, and then looked like shit ever since then. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, and we know how much Javid Basharat, just how clean his striking is too. So I think I was just talking about the Basharat brothers. Farrah, I was saying that, they're decision guys, and all of a sudden he gets to finish in the first round. So I would say, decision here, but who knows? I say that, and all of a sudden Javid comes out and gets the first round finish. Dude, you just never know with these dudes. They're killers though.
Yeah, it's crazy. So up now, never mind. All right, so these are going to be all the results from this past weekend. Actually, no. We've got Jamal Emmers taking on Dennis Bazooka. You care about that?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool fight. Yeah, Dennis Bazooka. Yeah, I thought he who did he step in and fight on short notice? Sean Woodson. Yeah, it was Sean Woodson, wasn't it? Yeah, and I thought he stepped in on short notice and performed really well. So yeah, seeing him get a full camp and Jamal Emmers a tough test as well. That's a pretty good fight.
Hell yeah. And then we've got Matus Rebecki returning against Narulo Aliyev. You care about that one?
Dude, you're not going to tell me that that's not like Keto Habib there on the right. Like that is definitely like Keto Habib or like or Great Value Habib over there. But I thought it was like a terrible edit. Like someone had like cut Habib's head off and put it on that dude's body. Like that dude looks a lot. That dude looks a lot like Habib, dude. That's crazy. I was waiting for you to say a last name, Nurmagomedov, Nurma, something. I was waiting for some type of name like that because I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely Habib, right? Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yep, Narulo Aliyev. That's the guy's name. And then we've got Nathaniel Wood taking on Muhammad Naimov, October 21st. You care about that one?
Nathaniel was pretty solid. He, good fighter. He's looked better at 145. So, that seems like I don't want to say an easy matchup, but
It's in
kind of.
Abu Dhabi, so who knows, dude?
Yeah, he's fighting in Abu Dhabi too. Yeah, fighting in someone else's backyard, so I guess that's never easy. So I guess why take the tougher fight, in enemy territory?
Hell yeah. And then that's from this past weekend. So let me get up here all the results. And then
That
we've got
bullshit, Francisco Padilla.
we've got Lucas Alexander taking on David Onama November 4th. You care about that one?
Yeah, that should be a good fight. David Onama coming off the big knockout in his last fight was the Gabriel Santos that he knocked out. Yeah, so that was
the
a
Izzy
good
celebration.
Yeah, that was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary to do that shit. And he did it completely horribly, and his justification of it was horrible. But I will say he is a fun fighter. Most of his fights. I even messaged you during that last fight. I said, for as good or bad as Onama is, his fights are not bad. Like, his fights are very fun to watch. So, yeah, I'm definitely down to watch him anytime.
All right. And then we've got Mick Parkin taking on some new guy. All right. That's this past weekend. And then the last one that we have that is a new one is going to be Miesha Tate taking on Julia Avila after having a baby, dude. The Raging Panda. She was one of my favorites before she got pregnant, dude. She comes out with thunder at the beginning, dude. Miesha Tate's older. What's your thoughts about this fight?
Yeah, that's it seems like almost kind of like a get right fight for both. Is this happening at bantamweight? Yeah, so I guess Miesha Tate, she said screw the weight cut, going down to 125. That was a fun experiment, but I guess she's going up. I guess maybe just trying to scratch that competitive itch, but at this point I kind of just question why she's even out here doing it, really, for Miesha Tate. I guess Julia, kind of maybe the same thing, wanting to kind of go out and maybe just get one more legend on her, or get a legend on her list before she goes out. But I mean, it could be one of those double retirement fights.
Bro was on his tippy toes in that line. I definitely was not, man. I definitely was not. But he was like leaning over though. Like, so he was like,
yeah, true.
Yeah, he was like kind of leaning over. Lopez better hair. M. McCory. M McCory going for Vince from Hell. Vince streams on Twitch. I hang out in his chat all the times. He's real cool. Fair enough. I thought he broke his arm. Oh yeah, that's the one dude. The Gafarov. This is Vince's comeback fight. Crazy men, that Bonfim boy. Let's see, dude. I'm sorry,
boys.
I have not been keeping up with the chat while we were talking about the fight, so I'm just trying to catch up, get the main points. I like the Wonder Woman fight kits, like Rachel Ostovich, the Boston Crab tattoo. How can you go against the Basharat? Exactly. Does look like a ton like Khabib. So Dorian, you are not alone.
Nurmagomedov shirt. Yep, Shaparov.
Slim fast Khabib pulling out the early Conor cuts. Tate's got to ride with a young prospect, and I hope she considers me a young prospect. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. With that being said, let's get into what y'all are here for. We've been here about 45 minutes, and we have not talked about any of the fights for this upcoming weekend. So that's what we're going to do. And D-Rose, how do you feel about the card like this weekend? Do you have any early plays in, or you're not trying to reveal too much yet?
I've been I've been looking, but I'm starting to get to the position of you now, kind of like I want to see how they face off before I end up getting a little too trigger happy on my bets. But there's some ways I'm leaning this weekend. But let's get into it, man. That's what we're going. That's what we're going to talk about.
All right. So with that being said, let me get. Oh, I'm wrong one. I need to. I stopped sharing, and I didn't mean to stop sharing. I meant to share the other screen. There we go. Let me make sure there's no volume so you guys don't get Crest toothpaste commercials in your ears. So with that being said, let's jump into it. We've got UFC Fight Night. Rafael Fiziev taking on Matus Gamrot. Come on, Tapology, you can load for me, right? Are you not going to click it?
Not without your toothpaste ad. You better buy this damn Colgate.
Bruh, come on now. There we go. Gee whiz. Took a long time to load. It just didn't want to work for me. All right. So this upcoming weekend, we've got UFC Fight Night. Rafael Fiziev taking on Matus Gamrot. Going to be happening at the UFC Apex at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So our regular fight time, dude. Also, it was super cool having fights early in the daytime over there on the West Coast, to be honest. I did not mind that one single bit because I actually had some time to do stuff after the fights. But 4 p.m. this time, East Coast time, going to be taking place at the Apex in Las Vegas. And we do have 11 fights to go over. So with that being said, let's break them down, and let me announce them to you. I'll get D-Rose's opinion on the card, and then we'll start bottom to top, giving you our picks, predictions, and any bets we have along the way. So with that being said, let's get into it. We've got Rafael Ottoman Fiziev taking on Matus Gamrot. We've got Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell taking on Dan 50K Ige. We've got, or Dominic Cruz is going to call him Ige if he's commentating this weekend. We've got Marina Rodriguez taking on the Karate Hottie, Michelle Watterson Gomez. We've got Pooh Bear or the Butcher, whichever one he's going to go by this weekend. Brian Battle taking on AJ Fletcher. That's a training partner of Dustin Poirier. We've got Charles Ayer Jourdain taking on Ricardo Hamosh. Dude, that's going to be a fun-ass fight. There's going to be some spinning shit. There's going to be some people jumping through the air. Probably fight of the night going to be this one right here. We've got I forgot Miles Johns' fight name. We got Miles Johns taking on determined Dan Argueta. We've got the Dirty Bird, one of D-Rose's favorite, Tim Means, taking on Andre Fiallo. And we were both high on Andre Fiallo early, and then keeps getting cracked. But Tim Means taking on Andre Fiallo. We've got light-skinned Curtis Blades, Jacob Malkoon taking on we love to love him. We've got Cody Brundage.
Oh, gosh.
We've got Fat Jake Collier taking on steroided Kamaru Usman. Muhammad Usman, the motor Muhammad Usman taking on Fat Jake Collier. And then we've got the returning Mizuki Inoue after like 3 years. She's going to be taking on Hannah Goldie that has been cut and then now signed back to the UFC. And then our first fight of the night, we've got Montserrat Rendon going to be taking on Tamaris Vidal in her second, or the tractor Tamaris Vidal in her second fight in the UFC after crushing Ramona Pascal early, I believe. So D-Rose, thoughts on the card as a whole before we start breaking it down?
It's a good card. I definitely looking at it, top to bottom, pretty solid. I like the names on there. I love me some Charles Jourdain. So, anytime I can watch that dude fight, and as you said, Ricardo Ramos, that dude brings the fire every time he fights. So, as you said, should be fight of the night. I love the co-main event. Dan Ige, Bryce Mitchell. That's a big fight. So, sneaky big names on here, man. It's a pretty good card.
Hell yeah. What's going on, Colton? How you doing, brother? Glad you're able to make it in here today. Stop by and get some fight picks for this weekend. Lush is ready to go. This card does have some really fun fights. Silent Six. Really keen to see Bryce. My balls is around, not the earth. Mitchell come back and bounce back. Yeah, possibly. Yo, dog, Mo Usman going to legally murder that guy. It's definitely possible. But, he don't really throw any punches, so we'll see. And then...
Well, he does. He just throws like a left hook.
Dude, he throws like 2 punches around.
Hey, it's been working for him, though. Crazy thing.
Yeah, I don't think Usman is very good right now. He needs a lot more experience. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the read that I have on him for the most part. But with that being said, Lee Rose... let's get into the fights. We've got Montserrat, the Monster, Rendon, taking on Tamaris, the Tractor Vidal, dude. Rendon is 5-0. Tamaris Vidal is 7-1. Her only loss is I don't know why I even said that, but we've got Montserrat Rendon at a plus 205 dog and a I'm not going to say that because those are not the correct odds. We've got Montserrat Rendon is 34 years old, 5'8", and a 68-inch reach. Tamaris Vidal is 25 years old, 5'6", and a 68-inch reach as well. So this is going to be Montserrat Rendon's UFC debut, and she is going to be 2 inches taller. However, going to be 9 years older, dude. She is a little bit older and only has 5 fights. Let me get my odds pulled up here so I can have some correct odds for you guys.
I got you some odds right here. I didn't know
hold on, because I have to set this up for you because I have a funny thing to say. D Rose, official pick for me is going to be Tamaris Vidal, but do you have any interest in betting Tamaris Vidal at a minus 265 favorite?
No. No.
All right,
not one bit. Yeah, I'm just going more for well, I was going to say the odds here. I didn't know if you wanted to put the fights on the screen here.
Oh wow, my bad.
Yeah,
dude.
Nah, you're good. That's what I was going to say. I didn't know because I felt like you were reading, and I was like, I'm so used to now when you do that, they're up there. But plus 200 for Montserrat. I mean, minus 265 for Tamaris Vidal. I I pick her to win just because I just know her to be a brute just from her, from her other fight. But as far as laying the money, no, I'm not comfortable with that at all.
I will pass on that as well. Me and D Rose both on Tamaris Vidal in the first fight of the night. So next one, dude, we've got the returning Mizuki Inoue. She's been off for a little bit. She's going to be taking on Hannah Goldie, dude. And I'm excited to break this one down, dude. We've got 14-6 for Mizuki Inoue. Her last fight was 3 years ago, and in a decision loss to Amanda Lemos. And we all know how good Amanda Lemos is now. And so it's just been a little bit. And a year before that, she fought Wu Yanan and beat her. And then this is going to be her third fight in the UFC. As where Hannah Goldie lost 11 months ago via spinning elbow to Meatball Molly McCann. And then won by armbar against Emily Whitmire. And then, she isn't too good overall, 6-3 overall. But we've got Mizuki Inoue, 29 years old, 5'3", and a 64-inch reach, while Hannah Goldie is 31 years old, 5'4", and a 61-inch reach. Hannah Goldie has been cut, I thought, and then I guess she's back now, 24K. Yeah, dude, and this is going to fall under, dude, if you're online showing your titties, I cannot pick you in a fight, dude. I got to go Mizuki Inoue, but right now, dude, a minus 330, not going to be betting it. If I'm going to bet anything here, dude, it's maybe Hannah Goldie by submission because that's the only way that she wins. And because she is strong, dude. I mean, if she grabs one of your arms, dude, she's probably going to armbar you. But dude, she just tries to strike a whole lot, and she's like so like robotic and like fucking stiff. She's like too fucking muscly to be a striker. Like what she needs to do is just go out there and double leg take down these chicks that are from Japan that have no wrestling and try to armbar them. So I can't pick Hannah Goldie. I will probably have maybe like a $5 bet on Hannah Goldie via like round 1 or 2 sub because I feel like that's her only path to victory. But my official pick here is going to be Mizuki Inoue.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I think I'm just more going with Mizuki just because I'm going against Hannah Goldie. I think we've seen enough of her to know that, as you said, just know that she isn't that good. She is the OnlyFans fade. Hell yeah. That's the OnlyFans fade. Yeah, that's hilarious. But no, I'm just more betting on just what we've seen from Hannah Goldie. It's just not much. Yeah, I know Mizuki Inoue, as you said, coming off that Lemos loss, that was some time ago, and we know how tough Amanda Lemos is. You know how much of a finisher she is. So for her to kind of even last going the distance, goes to show her toughness. If she can withstand, some Hannah Goldie's wrestling early. There could be a finish late, or
Dude,
you could
she
just
doesn't wrestle though. That's the thing. She tries to kick and punch, and she's so stiff.
Yeah, exactly. She's so stiff, and I just feel like she I don't know. I just feel like she kind of gasses early too. So, but I feel like her, as you said, her only path to victory would be wrestling, because I think if she doesn't, I think Inoue should be able to win it cleanly, just because we've seen Hannah Goldie strike and it's not clean.
Yeah. All right. So me and D-Rose both on Mizuki Inoue this weekend. So up next, we've got Fat Jake Collier taking on Muhammad the Motor Usman, the prototype. Dude, I thought it was hilarious when they had his 185 picture up there. We're like, that is not the same guy.
No. He ate two of those guys, and now he's the Jake Collier he is today.
Right, dude. This is an interesting fight, dude. 13-9 for Fat Jake Collier, while Muhammad the Motor Usman is 9-2 overall. Jake Collier plus 140. Jake Collier is a plus 124 dog, while Muhammad Usman is a minus 150 favorite currently. Jake Collier, 34 years old, 6'3", and a 78-inch reach. And that's exactly what I wanted to see, is how tall he was, because Muhammad Usman is 34 years old, 6'2", and a 79-inch reach, dude. I think this fight's a lot closer than than a lot of people are saying, dude, because Jake Collier he has decent takedown defense, but once he's off his back, he offers nothing, and I swear he doesn't really know how to get up. But if he gets on top of you, he's solid, and he might sub you, dude. He's got good. Out of this fight, who has better hands is going to be Jake Collier. He's going to be in Usman's face, pepper in jabs and all of that, because he's a natural 185er. He just doesn't have the knockout power. So that's his issue. If Jake Collier wins this fight, it's probably going to be 3 or decision, but I just have a hard time seeing it. What I truly see happening is Muhammad Usman double legging Jake Collier the first 2 rounds and just winning 2 out of the 3 rounds and getting a 29-28 decision win over Jake Collier. Give me Muhammad Usman to win this fight via decision, D-Rose. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I think I think the same thing. I think Jake Collier, he is sneaky enough. You see his body type, and you're going to think, man, this dude sits up and eats some damn mini powdered donuts all day with Cheeto cheese on his fingers, and he don't do shit all day. But he's a sneaky athlete, and he's got good spinning back kicks, spinning back fists. He's a good athlete, man. So contrary to his body appearance, he's a good athlete. And he's actually, I would say, probably the better athlete than Muhammad Usman is, which is crazy to say. But I think just in terms of who's built for, kind of the fighting game a little bit more, Muhammad Usman is definitely built for it a little bit more. I think even with him being a little bit more raw when it comes to his striking, his boxing is a little bit raw, but he was still able to knock out Zach Palgo with just a little check left hook. I mean, I thought it was just even with his striking being relatively green, that was a perfect punch that he landed when he was able to get him out. I think his wrestling started to come around a little bit more. I think right now, him just getting experience and wins under his belt is just the most important thing for him to kind of develop. But he's getting better with each fight. And I think Jake Collier, really, his big thing is he just doesn't have a big gas tank. You've seen in that Chris Barnett fight when he wasn't able to get Chris Barnett out of there early. Chris Barnett kind of, beat his ass there from the rest of the fight until he ended up getting him out of there. So, and that's one thing, Muhammad Usman, that's one thing. And Usman, Kamaru or Muhammad, neither one of them are going to have to worry about a gas tank. Muhammad Usman, he has just as good a gas tank as his brother. Maybe not as good, but for heavyweight comparatively, he has a really good gas tank. And I think he uses that to get the job done.
All right, so me and D-Rose both on the motor, Muhammad Usman this weekend, to get it done, dude. And I've been reserving D-Rose. I've broken down every
I
single one because I
will.
was waiting to get to this fight so I could let you have it because I didn't want to just have to give you two in a row. So I've been breaking down the ones that we really didn't care about at first to get to this one. So D-Rose can talk about some of his one of his favorite fighters here. So we've got Jacob the Mamba Malkoon taking on Cody Brundage, dude. Jacob Malkoon 7-2. Cody Brundage is 8-5 overall. Jacob Malkoon, a minus 485 favorite. Let me give you this. Jacob Malkoon, a minus 590 favorite. Cody Brundage, a plus 390 dog. Jacob Malkoon is 28 years old, 5'9", and a 73-inch reach, while Cody Brundage is 29 years old, 6 foot, and a 72-inch reach. D-Rose, could I interest you in Jacob Malkoon at minus 590? Break it down.
Honestly, it couldn't be higher. It cannot. Minus 590 is too low right now. I think it could be minus 700, and I would feel comfortable laying that right now. We know how we feel about Cody Brundage, the multiple lapses in judgment and fights that he should have and could have and should have won. I was saying that the Rodolfo Vieira fight again, multiple times, hurting him with the hands. And for some reason, you decide to pull guillotine with a world champion Brazilian jiu-jitsu player. You're going to end up getting submitted. You don't have a great gas tank to begin with, and you're hurting him with the hands. And there you go on the ground again with him to get finished. And then Cedricus Dumas, for some reason, if Cedricus Dumas ends up getting out-wrestled by Josh Frim, and we're like, man, Josh Frim is trash, and he was able to go in there and wrestle Cedricus Dumas. So surely Cody Brundage is going to go in there and out-wrestle him, right? Right? No. He ends up going in there and pulling some bullshit guillotine over and over again. The guillotine failure is what he is. The guillotine failure, Brundage. Brundage, do not. Again, minus 590 for Jacob Malkoon. Take it to the house right now. That's too low. It is too low right now because even if Jacob Malkoon doesn't do anything to win this fight, Cody Brundage is going to do everything he can to let Jacob Malkoon win this fight. He will absolutely do something to end up shooting himself in the foot. Cody Brundage is money for it. He's an absolute guarantee to shit his pants whenever he fights.
I think taking this fight on short notice too. But that's what Cody Brundage does. I think all of his fights are on short notice for the most part. Lost his last three. Yeah, dude. So I guess you're picking Jacob Malkoon here.
No. Yeah, I am.
All right. Let me do this, dude, because I think the odds are way too far apart here because, dude, Jacob Malkoon got knocked out in the first round by Phil Halls. It wasn't that long ago, so he can definitely be cracked. And who did he fight last? Where
that was it? Well, that was in 2020. And to be fair, Phil Halls can thud. That's one thing. And that's one thing that we know about Phil Halls. He can thump.
In the Nick Maximoff fight, he kind of got hurt by him in the third round, which doesn't look good either, in my opinion. My thing is, dude, I just read a malicious comment. Don't you do it, Matt. Here's my thing, dude. Cody Brundage has
do it.
Cody Brundage has no fight IQ, dude. Absolutely none. My thing is he starts like a bat out of hell every fight, right? Like he comes out throwing fucking heat every fight, dude. And I'm saying I am going to pick Cody Brundage to knock out light-skinned Curtis Blades in the first round, dude. Give me the big dog, Cody Brundage this weekend, I'll probably put like maybe like a $5 bet Cody Brundage round 2, round 1, round 2 KO just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. But yeah, give me Cody Brundage. Give me Cody Brundage to knock out Jacob Malkoun this weekend. But in all reality, what happens? Jacob Malkoun gonna wrestle. Dude, here's the thing. This is what makes me sick. It's like Cody Brundage will pull guillotine and end up on his back where he has nothing to offer from. So it's just like if he does not pull guillotine and can basically just stay on the feet and box up Jacob Malkoun, he can knock him out. It's definitely possible. And I'm willing to risk it with the huge dog this week in Cody Brundage.
Tell him, Lush. Hey, took the words right out of my mouth, Lush. Took them right out of my mouth, bro. Yeah, because that's exactly what I was about to say.
First different pick of the day, yeah.
Yep, but that's a guarantee right there. Cause we're gonna we get at least go. Ones. Yeah, still gonna at least go 1-1 in the other one. So I mean, that's all I got to do is go 1-1. That's all I'm saying. All I got to do is go 1-1.
All right. So up next, D-Rose, we've got none other than some of our favorites, dude. Or I guess I'm gonna let you break this one down again. We got Tim the Dirty Bird Means taking on Andre Fiallo. Tim Means is 32-15 and 1, 3-5 or 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Andre Fiallo is 16-7. Would have thought he got cut, but I guess not. He is 2-3 in his last as well. Right now, Tim Means is a plus 154 underdog, while Andre Fiallo is a minus 200 favorite. Tim Means 39 years old, 6'2", and a 75-inch reach, while Andre Fiallo is only 29 years old, 6 foot, and a 74-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down.
As you said, 2 fighters that I've always kind of had their back, and I know you always laugh at me for being a Dirty Bird fan because it's like, who the fuck cares about Tim Means that much? But dude, I've never seen the guy in a boring fight. I've never seen him in a boring fight in my life. Every time I've ever turned into Tim Means, he's always in a fun fight. And same thing for Andre Fiallo. He'll go out there on his shield, goes out there, goes for the thank you, Lush. He's just handing it over, man. I mean, I'm just going to keep this thing right here for keeping this thing polished up over here. But no, Fiallo, he's super explosive, good boxing, but his biggest thing, man, I don't even think it's necessarily I don't think it's his chin just so much as head movement. I just think he gets so caught up in trying to land the big shot that he just doesn't seem to be able to get out of range, and he just seems to always be in range for someone to land the perfect punch on him to end up ringing his bell. Because like literally, like that Jake Matthews fight, I mean, every punch Jake Matthews was landing, like it was in the perfect range to where it looked like Fiallo's head was snapping back like a Pez dispenser. Like this head was just slinking up and then coming back down. But no, I think Tim Means a little bit older, a little bit more shop worn, but he's still super sharp, sharp kickboxer. Man, I think I'll roll the dice with the underdog here. I think I'm going to go Tim Means. I think Tim Means, he's a little slicker. He was having moments there. Tim Means, but he was having moments in that Moreno fight on the feet before he ended up going for the takedown, and Moreno ended up snapping him up in that guillotine. But I thought he looked a little bit sharper. Fiallo looked a little bit better in his fight against Buckley, but same thing ended up happening as it normally does, man. He ends up finding himself sitting for that perfect shot to land, and I don't know if Tim Means is going to necessarily knock him out, but I think Tim Means combo volume, as long as Andre Fiallo doesn't go to the wrestling, man, I think Tim Means gets it done here. So give me Tim Means.
It's kind of crazy that you say that because Tim Means has been wrestling a whole lot lately, and he's the one that has like this at least a wrestling coach now, I think. So yeah, but Andre Fiallo for sure has like the better jiu-jitsu. And yeah, dude, I'm going the opposite way here. I'm going Andre Fiallo, but if you want to bet for me, I'm going to take the under because as you said it, dude, Tim Means a little bit more shop worn now, and we know Andre Fiallo can get cracked. And that being said, if the under's at 2.5, dude, I have to take the under 2.5 because either Andre Fiallo probably going to knock out Tim Means or maybe even sneakily submit Tim Means. Or Tim Means probably going to crack Andre Fiallo, just put him down. Yeah, dude. The only way I see this going over is if Tim Means ends up literally just wrestling him and staying on top. But I don't really see that happening too much. I'm going Andre Fiallo here to knock out or submit Tim Means. Probably second round for our second different pick of the day, D-Rose.
Hell yeah. I think that's honestly, and I feel good about Tim Means, man. The dude, he's scrappy. The Dirty Bird. One of the best nicknames in the game, man. I love it.
All right. So up next we've got Miles Johns, an old picture of Miles Chapo Johns because he is bald now. You're going to be taking on the determined Dan Argueta. Miles Johns is 13-2 overall. Dan Argueta 9-1 overall, but in his last fight, he was about to choke out Ronnie Lawrence, and then all nonsense Keith Peterson decides to step in. Anyway, we've got Miles Johns at currently a D-Rose. Do I have the thing up? Okay, yeah, I do. Just making sure.
Yep.
Miles Johns currently a where'd it go? Plus 152 dog, and Dan Argueta a minus 196 favorite. Miles Johns, 29 years old, 5'7" and a 66-inch reach, while Dan Argueta is 30 years old, 5'7" and a 68-inch reach. D-Rose, I feel like Miles Johns is sneakily good. A lot of people don't really think about him when it comes to good fighters at bantamweight, but he is pretty good. Carries quite a bit of power. If I could compare him to someone, I would compare him to maybe like a Brian Boom Kelleher, just a little bit. I like the way he fights, but on the other hand, the determined Dan Argueta, good wrestler, will continuously wrestle you and grind you nonstops. And we saw he has no problem throwing in some subs on you in his last fight, if that's what he chooses to do so. D-Rose, I got to be honest, I'm pretty high on the determined Dan Argueta this weekend. I like Dan Argueta a lot to win this fight, and he is one leg in my 3 legs of my $50 parlay this weekend. Give me Dan Argueta to beat Miles Johns this weekend. Which way are you going, man?
Yeah, I think I'll keep it short and sweet. I think, I agree with you. I do think Dan Argueta gets it done. I think Miles Johns, as you said, he's explosive, good power. I think he's got good wrestling as well. I think the big thing is that he's good with offensive wrestling. I think as much as defensive wrestling, I'm not too sure about where he is, when it comes to defensively. I know, as you said, Dan Argueta has some good submission attempts. Miles Johns lost to John Castaneda by submission as well. But yeah, I think, Dan Argueta should be able to get it done this weekend. I think, if Miles Johns doesn't get it done early, because he does have power, and I'd say look out there in the first round, because sometimes he does go out there, Miles Johns does, and he'll throw big hooks and uppercuts. He can land, and if he does, he can put him out. But I think if he doesn't get Dan Argueta out of there early, I think Dan Argueta gets it done.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose both on the determined Dan Argueta this weekend. So next fight, we've got Charles Air Jourdain taking on, I'm not going to try that, Ricardo Ramos. Charles Jourdain is 14-6 overall, won 3 of his last 5, while Ricardo Ramos is 16-4 overall, also won 3 of his last 5. Right now, Charles Jourdain is a, where is it at? Minus 148 favorite, while Ricardo Ramos is a plus 116 dog. Charles Jourdain is 27 years old, 5'9" and a 69-inch reach, while Ricardo Ramos is 28 years old, 5'9" and a 72-inch reach. Ricardo Ramos is the one that throws like the spinning elbows, no?
Oh yeah. I think he landed. Yeah, no, he lands he's landed a bunch of them before, or not a bunch of them, but I think he's got a couple of them to his name in the UFC.
Yeah. So that being said, this fight should be fun, dude. Could be fight of the night. Charles Jourdain does what his fight name implies. Air. He likes to throw a bunch of flying shit, flying knees, flying kicks. He'll spin. And, dude, Charles Jourdain round 3, dude, is like a mythical fighter. This dude comes out round 3 ready to throw down to get you out of there. Ricardo Hamosh, I guess I know a little bit about him, but I guess we don't really see him too often. A year ago, almost 2 years ago, so it's, I would like to see more of Ricardo Hamosh. So because of that, I have to pick Charles Jourdain here, and his control in his last fight against Kron Gracie impressed me quite a bit, dude. Because Kron Gracie is obviously like a Gracie, fantastic on the ground, and like for the most part, like Charles Jourdain just, I guess, like neutralized them, like for the most part, didn't let them get anything off. Stayed safe and just picked them apart on the feet for the most part. I like Charles Jourdain here at not the biggest favorite in the world. Give me Charles Jourdain to win this fight, D-Rose. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I actually, funny enough, I actually just went and was looking at some betting lines. I'm thinking about placing a little bit of a similar parlay myself. I agree with you, man. I do think that as far as the bet line goes, pretty small favorite for someone. I think a little bit more in terms of, I guess, what we know from Charles Jourdain. He's fought a lot more actively than Ricardo Hamosh has. Ricardo Hamosh is always dangerous. He's got, as we said, the spinning back elbows. He's got good power. He's definitely in there to scrap. He's not in there to play around. He's in there to throw down. But I think Charles Jourdain, as you said, in his last fight, he looked a lot more composed in the Kron Gracie fight. There's moments where Kron Gracie leaves himself open, and I think there were times where the old Charles Jourdain might have tried to go for like some spinning back kicks, or like you said, maybe some flying kicks, or try to do some jumping stuff off the cage, or whatever the case may be. And I thought he did a real job of keeping himself composed, and I think he had even mentioned going into that Kron Gracie fight how he was going to make more of a focus on that going forward. And I think we see a little bit more of that in this fight against Ricardo Hamosh there. And at minus 148 right now on FanDuel, I mean, that's definitely pretty low right now. I mean, if you got you a nice little parlay piece, you could put him and Dan Argueta together. I mean, that'd be, if you did that, that'd be plus 153 just with them two alone. I mean, that'd be something I'd be comfortable putting, $25-50 on and feeling pretty comfortable on the return on that. Because I think Charles Jourdain should be able to get it done pretty easy this weekend.
All right, fair enough. Me and D-Rose both on Charles Air Jourdain this weekend to get the dub over Ricardo Hamosh. Up next, we've got Brian Pooh Bear or the Butcher Battle. Going to be taking on AJ the Ghost Fletcher. 9-2 for Brian Battle. 1-4 of his last 5, while AJ Fletcher is 10-2 overall and 1-3 of his last 5. Right now, Brian Battle is a minus 192 favorite, while AJ Fletcher is a plus 148 dog. Brian Battle, 29 years old, 6'1" and a 77-inch reach, while AJ Fletcher is 26 years old, 5'10" and a 67-inch reach. D-Rose, break it down.
This in terms of size difference between the two, I think when they face off, does that say 5'10" for AJ Fletcher?
Yes.
That is very, very.
It's going to be like a 3 to 4 inch height disadvantage.
Brian Battle's going to be at least 6'1", 6'2". AJ Fletcher might be 5'9". Like, he might be 5'9". Like, there's going to be a good size advantage between the two. But it should be a fun fight. I just think that's ultimately the problem for AJ Fletcher, just his size. Just you can see in terms of mass, it's going to be really hard for him to be able to cut down to 155. But I just think in terms of him being competitive, up at the higher end of the division at 170, I just think he's ultimately going to be capped just because, just in terms of his size, not the biggest 170 pounder, man. And I think Brian Battle, he's got a few more.
I don't know if he could keep making it.
Well, and as you've seen in his last fight, he struggled to make the weight. So it's not like it's been an easy way for him to make. But at the same time, he's going to be a big dude in there compared to AJ Fletcher. He's got good power in his hands. I think he's got a pretty well-rounded game at this point. He doesn't throw as many combos as AJ Fletcher, so I will say AJ Fletcher's combos are probably a little bit more clean. I just have trouble seeing him really finding the range to be able to let his combos really get to work like he can let loose at times for AJ Fletcher. But I think Brian Battle gets it done here, man. I think AJ Fletcher's super tough. I don't think Brian Battle's going to get the finish, so I'll probably say by decision. Maybe Brian Battle works in his wrestling a little bit more, but I think Brian Battle gets it done here.
Yeah, I'm with you as far as the pick. I'm going to pick Brian Battle. I just do want to throw out the fact that like AJ Fletcher does have some pretty good back takes, I guess. And Brian Battle, when he has lost, it has been, being dominated or getting choked out. So it wouldn't surprise me too terribly much if AJ Fletcher ends up finding Brian Battle's back like round 2, round 3, and just happens to get the sub. But for the most part, I do have to pick Brian Battle. And I actually am kind of with you. I could see Brian Battle winning this fight via decision. But at the same time, dude, Brian Battle's, as you said, just such a big guy. And when Gabe Green just like ooga booga'd him in his last fight, like he has power, man. So I don't know. I could also see him knocking out AJ Fletcher early in the fight too, just because an early Brian Battle is a dangerous Brian Battle. But I'm gonna pick Brian Battle to win this fight overall, dude. And right now, no, minus 192 favorite, not terribly too much as well. So that's 3 legs in a row right there that you could have some solid odds. So D Rose, next fight of the night, we do have a number 2. So give me the number 2 if you would. We've got Marina Rodriguez taking on Michelle Waterson Gomez. Number 2.
2. Now this one didn't make sense. Nah, it still doesn't, in my opinion. But
yeah, dude, because their last fight was 5 rounds. It was 5 rounds. We saw what happened.
It was actually a fun fight.
I mean, I guess, but it was pretty clean decision. I didn't need to see a second one here, especially with the damn near 38-year-old Michelle Waterson here. But here we have Marina Rodriguez taking on the karate hottie Michelle Waterson Gomez. Marina Rodriguez 16-3 overall, won 3 of her last 5, but lost her last 2, while Michelle Waterson Gomez is 18-11 overall, lost 4 of her last 5, and also lost her last 3 straight up. We got Marina Rodriguez minus 305 favorite as Michelle Waterson plus 245 dog. Marina Rodriguez, also a little bit older too, at 36 years old, 5'6" and a 65-inch reach, while Michelle Waterson is probably one of the oldest women on the UFC roster at 37 years old and 8 months, 5'3" and a 62-inch reach. She's small, man. I gotta go with what happened in their last fight. Give me Marina Rodriguez to win this fight via decision. I don't see this going any other way.
Yeah, I think the same thing. We were just saying, I thought that last fight, 5 rounds, it was a fun fight. 2. Dose. I thought Marina won pretty cleanly, even though it was a competitive fight. It's not like Michelle Waterson got blown out, but I thought Marina won pretty cleanly. And I think I don't know if this fight this weekend looks too dissimilar, and it's going to be in the UFC Apex as well, just like their fight was last time. I think you can hear big shots landing on both sides. Probably be a fun fight, and I think Marina Rodriguez gets it done by decision.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Marina Rodriguez this weekend. What's going on, Jim Card Collecting? How you doing? Glad you're able to stop by, make it in here. We're almost
yes, sir.
We're almost at the main event, brother. And Derek Gruffrey agreeing with us for the most part. So that being said, me and D-Rose both on Marina Rodriguez this weekend to win the fight. Co-main event time, D-Rose. We've got Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell taking on Dan 50K Ige. Bryce Mitchell is 15-1 overall. Only loss was to Ilia Topuria in his last fight, while Dan 50K Ige is 17-6 overall, but has won 2 of his last 5 in his last 2 against Damon Jackson and Nate Landwehr. Bryce Mitchell currently is a minus 210 favorite, while Dan Ige is a plus 162 dog. Bryce Mitchell, 28 years old, 5'10", and a 70-inch reach, while Dan 50K Ige is 32 years old, 5'7", and a 71-inch reach. And dude, to drill a drill through your ball sack, you're a tough man. You're a tough man.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, dude.
Break it down, D-Rose.
And you're like, oh shit, guys! I guess I got my balls caught in the daggone drill again. I'm like, oh, Paul, I got my balls caught in the drill. Like, what are you doing, dude? But no, I think this is a fun fight. We know that how it is with Bryce Mitchell and his grappling and his jiu-jitsu. And Dane Ige, man, I think that's I think he gets slept on for his jiu-jitsu a little bit, which he mostly doesn't have to use it because we know Dane Ige. He definitely likes to scrap, likes to throw hands, likes to go out there and have a good scrap. And I think Bryce Mitchell, he's a little bit of the same, but I think as we know, his striking isn't as clean, but he's going to be the bigger dude against Dane Ige. So I definitely think he's going to have the advantage on, the size wise. Man, I'm not gonna lie, dogs barking for me this weekend, man. Because I think money's on Dan Ige for me. I think Dan Ige, cleaner boxing between the two. If you're talking about the cleaner hands, I mean, Bryce Mitchell does have a pretty decent one too. He showed that in the Edson Barboza fight, but we did see that, in that Ilia Topuria fight, and Topuria is built different, obviously. But you could see when Topuria got his, or when Bryce Mitchell landed a couple of shots against Topuria was almost like, is that it? And then he just ended up proceeded to walk Bryce Mitchell down until they finished him. I don't know if we're going to see a finish from Dane Ige, but I think we can see something similar. I think you're going to see Dane Ige kind of take a step back for a minute to kind of be prepared for the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu and the range for Bryce Mitchell. But I think once he kind of gets a feel for him, if he's able to stuff the takedowns, I think honestly this should be Dane Ige's fight to lose. And I think Dane Ige should be actually the favorite here, or I think it should be at least a little bit closer betting wise. I'm surprised that Bryce Mitchell is a 2-1 favorite because I'm going Dane Ige here, man. I think Dane Ige gets it done.
All right, fair enough. I'm glad we'll have a third different pick here. Personally, I just think this is a get-right fight for Thug Nasty, dude. I think he's quite a bit bigger than Dan 50K is. And, dude, Dan doesn't really fight people that have really good wrestling. And Bryce Mitchell, if he does have one thing, it is good wrestling, dude. I expect him to just outpower Dan 50K. And, dude, for Bryce Mitchell, he's tough, dude. He was eating shots from Ilia, and he was not going away, dude. And I don't think Dan hits as hard as Ilia does, and he just doesn't have the same pressure, pace, like I'm gonna kill you type shit. So, I'm gonna go Bryce Mitchell to win this fight via decision. I think it might be a close round 2, but I see Bryce Mitchell getting enough control time round 1 and 3 to end up getting the decision win. Give me Bryce Mitchell, Thug Nasty, in my camouflage UFC hat to win to win this weekend. Colton saying, I saw someone say Gamrot won a cook decision, and now it's drilled into my mind. Could possibly happen. Same D Rose. Ige had a nice win recently, and so my mind is on him. And so people agreeing with D Rose this weekend. They're actually going for the dog. That's actually a good point. Now I'm confused on who to take. And also one thing to take away as well, dude. Bryce said that he had the flu going into his last fight, and that was also he had like 3 or 4 different opponents. Like in like 2 or 3 weeks too. So I mean, not even training for Ilya, dude, and then having to fight him, dude. I could not imagine that. So I don't know. I just think we see the return of the real Thug Nasty this weekend. Give me Bryce Mitchell to win. D Rose on 50K Dan Ige. So final fight of the night, the main event time, y'all. If you would do me a favor and hit a thumbs up button, support your boys over here. That's all that we ask. And yeah, that's yeah. What's Austin saying here before I jump into here we go. Bryce's toughest opponent is in reality, so I think he can take Ige. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him fighting anyone else harder than Ilya to fight ever, dude. So that being said, main event, we got Rafael Ottoman Fiziev taking on Matu's Gamer Gamrot. 12-2 for Rafael Fiziev. Lost his last one against Justin Gaethje and then lost his UFC debut. Aside from that, he is undefeated, while Matu's Gamrot is 22-2 overall. So 10 more fights overall, 10 more MMA fights overall. Only losses were Benil Dariush, and then I think to Guram Kutataladze, I believe, in his UFC debut. Right now, Rafael Fiziev a minus 166 favorite, while Matu's Gamrot a plus 130 dog. Rafael Fiziev, 30 years old, 5'8" and a 71-inch reach, while Matu's Gamrot is 32 years old, 5'10" and a 70-inch reach. One thing we do have to take note here is Rafael Fiziev had a long kickboxing career before he started fighting MMA. D-Rose, I'm going to let you pick first here, dude. Break it down.
Yeah, man, fun fight, fun main event, and I thought, in terms of matchmaking when this first got announced, I mean, I was excited immediately because I was like, man, just in terms of fresh matchups, they're in the top 8 and 9 fighters in the lightweight division right now. Probably the most exciting division in the sport, and to see two dudes who, kind of been at the top but hadn't fought one another. It's an exciting matchup, and Fiziev with his striking, obviously. He's got as you said, the nasty kickboxing. Gamrot is just as gritty as they come, man. He's got good boxing, good wrestling, good cardio. He's got pretty good submissions too. When he ended up getting that, Americana against Jeremy Stevens, or was it the Kimura, whichever submission that he had? Dude, that was absolutely nasty. Yeah, that Kimura he had against, dude, it was nasty the way he had his arm bent around his back, dude. Yeah, Gamrot's a nasty finisher, but he looks like Peter Parker during the day with his glasses on. So you would never assume anything from Gamrot. If you seen Gamrot just walking around as with his glasses on and in public, like, you would assume that he's some dude that works in your IT department. Like, you would not assume that he's one of the most badass dudes in the world. Fun fight, but man, I think I'm going to go Gamrot. I like Gamrot in this fight. I like his style. And how I am on Fiziev. He's a fun fighter, but if there's one thing I always continually pick on him about is he fades in his fights, man. He faded against Gaethje. He was fading against RDA before
that was the first round, though, when he knocked him out, though.
Yeah, but he landed the big shot there to get the finish, but he was losing. It was 2-2 going into the 5th round. Yes, he ended up winning the fight, but he ended up he was fading. In the Bobby Green fight, he was fading in the 3rd round. He tends to fade in almost every one, and if there's something that I can almost guarantee that Mateusz Gamrot is not going to do, is that dude's not going to fade. And I think it's going to come down to if Fiziev is going to be able to get the finish early. I think if he can keep a Gamrot back with his striking, with his super potent striking, I definitely think he has a chance. But man, Gamrot, if Fiziev does not hurt Gamrot early, Gamrot, I mean, that dude's just a dog, man. I just see him wearing on him with the wrestling, taking him up against the fence, riding him out against the clinch a little bit. And as the fight goes, just continually just wearing on him until he takes over the fight. And I think Gamrot gets it up.
Fair enough, man. I guess I can see where you and the chat are coming from. As far as the chat goes, I guess I just don't hold Arman Tsarukyan to be that high of a level fighter. I've just seen him he's super confident, super cocky, but I've just seen him get cracked a few times, and I think he has terrible striking. So I guess I don't really hold the Arman Tsarukyan win too high. I personally thought he kind of got exposed just a little bit in the Dariush fight, dude, because I believe me and you both picked him to win against Dariush, or you may have picked him and
yeah, we both picked him.
Yeah, so if he can't get the takedowns, I just feel like he's kind of lost for the most part.
But Fiziev doesn't have the sweeps like Benil does. I think that's the completely different jiu-jitsu game, in my opinion, though.
I just think like the Fiziev's for sure been probably working on his takedown like defense, and like in the way that Gamrot shoots is from so far out, dude. So I would just be worried about him like eating a knee or something like at one point, because he like fucking shoots from by the time he fucking steps in the octagon, like he's trying to shoot across the cage, and it's always like a single leg. And dude, Rafael Fiziev's balance is priceless, dude. He's got great balance. So I just think that Gamrot struggles to get the takedowns just a little bit, and Rafael Fiziev knocks him out round 2, round 3, something like that. But if Gamrot does get the takedowns, Gamrot should win this fight via decision. I'm not going to be betting on this fight because personally, I think the line should be flipped. I personally think Gamrot should be the favorite.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't think that Rafael should be the favorite, but I don't make the odds. I'm just going to pick the favorite.
I'm actually betting Gamrot.
Yeah,
I'm going to bet Gamrot straight up.
I'm actually more of a fan of Rafael Fiziev than I am Gamrot. So I'm going to pick him to win, but if I'm going to be honest, I'm not confident on it either way. And Benny chin checked Gamrot's chin. If Fiziev touches his chin, it's over for Gamrot. Possibly. Derek Goofrey agreeing with D Rose, and Lush being the man and always keeping track of our picks. We had 4 different picks this weekend, D Rose. So I get to pick. First one, Jacob Malkoon versus Cody Brundage. Second fight, Tim Means versus Andre Fiallo. Third fight, Bryce Mitchell versus Dan Ige. And fourth fight, Fiziev versus Gamrot. And I know what you think I'm going to do, D Rose. I know that you think I'm going to throw out the first fight. Yeah. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I'm going to throw out the last fight. We're not doing Gamrot versus Fiziev, dude. I'm taking Cody Brundage. I'm taking Andre Fiallo, and I'm taking Bryce Mitchell. So Lush, when Andre Fiallo and Bryce Mitchell both wins this weekend, I was like, yeah, I may have shit the bed on the Cody Brundage pick, but it's all right. That's going to be our 3 different picks for this weekend, and I think I think it all Fiziev has to do with touch of his chin because he probably has more power than Benny. Probably a smart bet, D Rose. All right, D Rose. So I told you I would give y'all my current bets that I already have placed for this weekend. I do have two different 3-leg parlays already placed for this weekend, a $50 and a $20. So I'm gonna give you my $20 first, D Rose. My $20 parlay this weekend is going to be Andre Fiallo, Charles Jourdain, and Brian Battle. $20 to win 76 at a plus 282. I don't feel like it's too bad of odds, but I know you're on Tim Means this weekend, so maybe I'll win that one. And my second one, D Rose, is $50 plus 188 odds. Dan Argueta, Marina Rodriguez, and Thug Nasty Bryce Mitchell at a minus 210. So $50 to win 144. That's my 2 different parlays that I have placed for this weekend. So hopefully I can hit the $50 one. And I think currently right now on the pod, D Rose, you may have convinced me into one. What was it? Was it
Dan Argueta and Charles Jourdain? Maybe just doing that. I think it was just them straight up was plus 152. I'll tell y'all, just because we were talking about it, I actually just did a quick little one myself for $25. If you put those 2 plus Muhammad Usman on there, It's plus 313. If you put Muhammad Usman, Dan Argueta, and Charles Jourdain on money line right now, $25 is a total payout of 103. So I like that.
I think I'm gonna do this, D Rose. I think I'm gonna go Dan Argueta, Charles Jourdain, Brian Battle, and Marina Rodriguez on a 4-leg plus 398. I'm gonna go ahead and just probably put 25 or 30 on it. Yeah, I'm gonna put 25 on it to win probably like 125 back, something like that.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
To win something like I just now put in 25 to win 124 at plus 398 odds. Yeah, that's my 4-leg for this weekend. I just now did it. So coming off of some cheddar winning weekend from this past weekend, I could not be more happier. I hope y'all enjoyed the fight vlog when that came out. We're not going to do the ladder this week. We're going to take a break from it this week, just kind of let y'all know some of the bets we were playing. But next week, we are going to come back. Not next week, because we will not be here next week, because there's no fights next weekend. So D Rose gets a break off. Dude, we've been at this for 17 weeks straight. Do you believe that? 17.
Dude, we always out here chopping this thing out, man.
17 weeks straight. 17 Wednesdays in a row. We've been right here talking fights. So we finally get a break this next upcoming week. I'm not going to really sure what to do on Wednesday afternoon, but I'll find something to do. But we appreciate y'all stopping by here today. Once again, we will not be here next weekend because no fights. But let's see. If Gamrot wins, do you guys think he'll be in the title shot picture? I think possibly. I'm not sure. We got Papa Chuck in here. Hell yeah, brother. Glad you're able to make it in here, Papa Chuck. We're about to pop off here, Papa, but we appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate you guys.
Lush.
Hell yeah, Lush. We appreciate you, Lush. And,
yes, sir.
Colton, well-deserved break indeed. And then stay safe and good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck everyone that's betting this weekend. Once again, appreciate all y'all for stopping by here. This has been the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast, and won't be here next weekend, but we will return the week after next with the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast number 90, D Rose. Getting close to that 100 mark. We have to do something special for the 100 mark,
Yeah. We'll I'll end up getting up 100 and put it up on the in the background. We'll do something crazy for it.
All right. With that being said, we appreciate all y'all for stopping by here today. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen, and we'll catch y'all in a couple weeks. Good luck this weekend. Also, I'm gonna start ending it with this. At the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and anything can happen. Stay safe this weekend, y'all.